Sympathetic about Jefferson's evident distress, Franklin tried to soothe his young colleague, to whom every suggestion and demand on the floor